Picture this. You're cruising down the highway in your F-150, feeling pretty good about yourself, when suddenly a machine with 6 wheels and 900 horsepower blows past you, like you're standing still. I'm talking about machines that laugh in the face of physics, cost more than most people's houses, and can literally drive over anything in their path. From a $640,000 Italian supercar that looks like it escaped from a sci-fi movie to a Chevy C10 that Brad DeBerti turned into a tire-shredding monster. Today, we're diving deep into the world's most insane 6-wheeled custom vehicles. These aren't your typical trucks. These are rolling statements that scream, "I've got more money than sense, and I'm not afraid to use it." But here's what's crazy. Most people think 6 wheels are just for show. Dead wrong. Every single one of these machines was built for a specific purpose, whether that's conquering the apocalypse, dominating racetracks, or just making sure everyone at the country club knows exactly who's boss. See, when you add 2 extra wheels, you're not just adding rubber to the road. You're fundamentally changing how power gets distributed, how weight gets carried, and how much punishment these beasts can take. It's engineering meets insanity, and the results are absolutely mind-blowing. We've got everything from a $249,000 supercharged monster that makes 1,300 horsepower to military-grade machines that could survive the zombie apocalypse. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to understand why 6 wheels isn't just better, it's necessary. The American Muscle Monsters. Let's start with something that'll make your heart race. The 1965 Chevy C10 Slayer. This isn't just a truck. It's 900 horsepower of pure American fury wrapped in 6 wheels of destruction. Brad DeBerti took a classic C10 and said, "You know what this needs? More wheels and enough power to melt asphalt." The result? A supercharged beast that can shred tires like they're made of paper. We're talking about a truck that sounds like a jet engine and looks like it rolled straight out of Mad Max. But here's the kicker. This thing actually works. Those 6 wheels aren't just for show. They distribute the massive torque from that supercharged V8, giving it traction that would make a Formula One car jealous. When Brad hits the throttle, all 6 wheels light up in a symphony of burning rubber and raw power. The engineering behind this monster is absolutely insane. Custom chassis, hand-built suspension, and enough reinforcement to handle forces that would tear a normal truck apart. This is what happens when American ingenuity meets unlimited budget and zero regard for practicality. Now, what makes this build even more impressive is the attention to detail. Brad didn't just throw 6 wheels under a truck and call it a day. He completely redesigned the rear suspension geometry to handle the additional axle. The drive system uses a single drive shaft that feeds power to the middle axle, which then transfers it to the rear axle through a custom-built transfer case. It's engineering that would make NASA jealous. The interior is a perfect blend of race car functionality and street truck comfort. You've got racing seats that'll hold you in place when those 900 horses decide to party. But you also have air conditioning and a sound system because, let's face it, you want to be comfortable while you're terrorizing the neighborhood. The luxury apocalypse machines. Now, if the C10 Slayer is the wild child, then the Apocalypse Hellfire 6x6 is the sophisticated gentleman who just happens to be packing serious heat. Jay Leno got his hands on one of these, and even he was impressed. We're talking about a machine that starts life as a Jeep Gladiator and gets transformed into something that could handle the end of the world in complete comfort. Here's what blows my mind. You can get this thing with a Hellcat engine. That's 707 horsepower of supercharged fury in a 6-wheeled package that can climb mountains and look good doing it. But if you want to be practical, and I use that term loosely, they also offer a 500 horsepower LS3, or even a twin-turbo diesel. The attention to detail is incredible. Custom leather interior, bulletproof options, and enough ground clearance to drive over your neighbor's Honda Civic. This is what you buy when you want to survive the apocalypse, but refuse to give up your heated seats. What's fascinating about the Apocalypse Hellfire is the manufacturing process. These guys in Fort Lauderdale, and yes, I know that sounds weird for a manufacturing center, have perfected the art of taking a regular Jeep Gladiator and completely transforming it. They literally cut the frame in half, extend it, and rebuild everything from the ground up. The middle axle isn't just bolted on as an afterthought. It's a fully engineered solution that maintains the vehicle's center of gravity, while providing the additional traction and load capacity. The suspension system uses custom valved shocks that can handle the extra weight and the punishment of off-road driving. But here's what really sets the Apocalypse apart: the options list. You can get night vision cameras, run flat tires, reinforced bumpers, and even armor plating. This isn't just a truck. It's a mobile command center for whatever apocalypse you're preparing for. The European Exotic. But if you really want to blow minds, let's talk about the Cavini C6W, the world's first street-legal six-wheeled supercar. This Italian masterpiece costs $640,000, and every penny shows. We're talking about a machine that makes 500 horsepower from a 4.2-liter V8 and can hit 186 miles per hour. But here's what makes it special: those four front wheels. The Italians didn't just slap extra wheels on for looks. Those four front wheels give you incredible steering precision and braking power that would make a Porsche 911 weep with envy. When you're carving through the Italian countryside at triple-digit speeds, you want every advantage you can get. Federico Cavini, the man behind this madness, told us something fascinating. There is no understeer, and you can enjoy a lot when you push, because we have a lot of power without any traction control. This is pure, unfiltered driving experience with 6 wheels of Italian passion. The development of the Cavini C6W took over a decade. Federico and his team had to solve problems that no one had ever tackled before. How do you steer 4 front wheels? How do you distribute braking force across 6 wheels? How do you maintain the balance and handling characteristics that make a supercar special? The answer involved completely rethinking automotive engineering. The steering system uses a complex linkage that ensures all 4 front wheels turn in perfect harmony. The braking system distributes force across 6 wheels instead of 4, giving you stopping power that defies physics. But it's not just about performance. It's about the experience. When you're behind the wheel of a Cavini C6W, you're not just driving a car. You're piloting a piece of automotive history. The sound of that V8 echoing off Italian hillsides, the precision of the steering, the way it carves through corners, it's everything a supercar should be, just with 2 extra wheels. The military-grade monsters. Now let's get serious for a minute. Some of these 6-wheeled beasts weren't built for fun. They were built for war. The Mercedes-AMG G63, 6x6, is what happens when German engineering meets military requirements and unlimited budget. This thing was originally designed for the Australian military, but Mercedes decided civilians needed a taste of that 6-wheeled supremacy. We're talking about a machine with portal axles, 5 differential locks, and enough ground clearance to drive over small buildings. The 5.5-liter twin-turbo V8 makes 536 horsepower, but it's not about the power. It's about the capability. This beast can ford 3 feet of water, climb 45-degree slopes, and carry enough gear to supply a small army. When Mercedes built this thing, they weren't messing around. This is what you drive when the regular G-Wagon just isn't intimidating enough. The portal axles are the real engineering marvel here. Instead of the axle running through the center of the wheel, it runs above it, with gears inside the wheel hub to transfer power. This gives you massive ground clearance without having to lift the entire vehicle. It's the same technology used on military vehicles and heavy-duty trucks. But Mercedes didn't stop there. The G63 6x6 has 5 differential locks. That's more than most people know exist. You can lock the front differential, the rear differential, both rear differentials individually, and the center differential. When all 5 are locked, this thing becomes an unstoppable force of nature. The interior is pure Mercedes luxury. Leather everywhere, heated and cooled seats, a premium sound system, and all the technology you'd expect from a $500,000 vehicle. It's the only vehicle where you can cross the Sahara Desert in air-conditioned comfort while listening to your favorite playlist. The custom shop legends. But here's where things get really interesting. The custom shops that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Hennessy Performance took a Chevy Silverado and turned it into the Goliath 6x6. We're talking about 800 plus horsepower from a supercharged 6.2-liter V8, 8 inches of lift, and enough attitude to make a Raptor look like a minivan. John Hennessy doesn't do anything halfway. When he decided to build a six-wheeled truck, he didn't just add wheels, he engineered a complete transformation. Custom rear suspension, massive 37-inch tires, and enough power to tow your house to the next county. But Hennessy isn't stopping there. They're working on a mammoth 6x6 based on the Ram TRX with a 7.0-liter engine, making 1,200 horsepower. When that hits the streets, it's going to redefine what we think is possible in a pickup truck. The Hennessy approach is all about maximum performance. They don't just add wheels. They completely re-engineer the vehicle to handle the additional stress and weight. The Goliath 6x6 uses a custom-built rear axle assembly that can handle the massive torque from that supercharged V8. What's impressive is the attention to detail. The suspension isn't just lifted, it's completely redesigned with custom control arms, upgraded shocks, and reinforced mounting points. The braking system is upgraded to handle the additional weight and the increased stopping distances that come with 6 wheels. The interior gets the full Hennessy treatment too. Custom leather, carbon fiber accents, and a sound system that can compete with the roar of that supercharged V8. This isn't just a truck. It's a rolling testament to American engineering and the philosophy that more is always better. The Apocalypse Specialists. Speaking of redefining possibilities, let's talk about the other machines in the Apocalypse lineup. The Juggernaut 6x6 takes the concept even further. These guys in Fort Lauderdale are building machines that could literally survive the end of the world. We're talking about vehicles with Kevlar coating, bulletproof options, and enough capability to drive through a war zone. What's crazy is the attention to detail. These aren't just lifted trucks with extra wheels. Every component is engineered to handle the massive stresses of 6-wheel drive, the extra weight, and the incredible power these engines produce. The Apocalypse team has perfected the art of the 6-wheel conversion. They've built over 78 of these machines, and each one is a masterpiece of engineering and craftsmanship. The process starts with a donor vehicle, usually a Jeep Gladiator, and ends with something that barely resembles the original. The frame extension isn't just welded on. It's engineered to maintain the structural integrity of the original design, while adding the capability of the third axle. The suspension system is completely custom, designed to handle the additional weight while maintaining ride quality and off-road capability. But what really sets Apocalypse apart is their understanding of their customers. These aren't just toys for rich guys. They're serious machines for serious situations. Whether you're running a ranch in Texas, exploring the Australian outback, or just want to be prepared for whatever life throws at you, these machines are built to handle it. The Exotic Experiments. Now, here's where things get really wild. The Devil 60 is what happens when someone asks, what if we took a supercar and gave it 6 wheels and enough power to break the sound barrier? This thing is still in development, but the specs are absolutely insane. We're talking about a potential 5,000 plus horsepower from a quad-turbo V16 engine. Yes, you heard that right, V16. This isn't just a car, it's a rolling physics experiment. The Panther 6 was another attempt at 6-wheeled supercar supremacy back in the 70s. It had a Cadillac V8 up front and enough style to make a Lamborghini jealous. Only 2 were ever built, making it one of the rarest 6-wheeled machines on the planet. The Panther 6 was ahead of its time in so many ways. Back in 1977, when most supercars were struggling to make 200 horsepower, the Panther 6 was packing a 600 horsepower Cadillac V8. The 4 front wheels weren't just for show. They provided incredible braking power and steering precision that was unmatched at the time. The design was pure 1970s excess. Wedge-shaped body, scissor doors, and an interior that looked like it belonged in a spaceship. It was everything a supercar should be. Fast, loud, and completely impractical for everyday use. Unfortunately, the Panther 6 was a victim of its own ambition. The complexity of the 6-wheel system, combined with the economic realities of the late 1970s, meant that only 2 examples were ever completed. Today, those 2 cars are worth millions and represent a fascinating what-if in automotive history. The Racing Legends. But if you want to see 6 wheels in their natural habitat, you need to look at drag racing. The Green Monster 6 is a dragster that uses 6 wheels to put down power that would normally just turn tires into smoke. In drag racing, traction is everything. When you're making 3,000 plus horsepower, 2 wheels just aren't enough. 6 wheels give you the contact patch needed to actually use all that power instead of just creating the world's most expensive tire fire. These machines are pure function over form. Every component exists for one purpose: to get from point A to point B as fast as physically possible. The engineering is incredible, with custom chassis designed to handle forces that would destroy a normal car. The Green Monster 6 represents the ultimate expression of the more is better philosophy. When you're trying to cover a quarter mile in under 6 seconds, every advantage matters. The 6-wheel configuration provides the traction needed to launch a 3,000 horsepower machine without just spinning the tires. The engineering challenges are immense. How do you distribute 3,000 horsepower across 6 wheels? How do you ensure that all 6 wheels are getting equal traction? How do you build a chassis that can handle the massive forces involved in accelerating from 0 to 300 miles per hour in under 6 seconds? The answer involves some of the most advanced engineering in motorsports: custom differentials, titanium chassis components, and suspension systems that can handle forces that would tear a normal car apart. It's engineering at the absolute limit of what's possible. The custom one-offs. Some of the coolest 6-wheeled machines are the one-offs, the custom builds that exist because someone had a crazy idea and the budget to make it happen. The Mercedes X-Class 6-wheeler is a custom build that takes Mercedes' pickup truck and gives it the 6-wheel treatment. We're talking about German luxury meets 6-wheeled capability. Then there's the Mercedes Zetros 6x6 Mongolian luxury, a machine built for crossing continents in comfort. This thing can handle the Sahara Desert or the Mongolian steppes while keeping you comfortable enough to arrive fresh for a business meeting. These one-off builds represent the ultimate in custom automotive engineering. When you're building just one vehicle, you can push the boundaries in ways that mass production simply doesn't allow. Every component can be custom made, every detail can be perfected, and every system can be optimized for the specific use case. The Mercedes Zetros 6x6 is a perfect example. Built for a client who needed to traverse some of the world's most challenging terrain while maintaining the comfort and reliability expected from a Mercedes-Benz. This isn't just a truck with extra wheels. It's a mobile expedition base that can handle anything from Arctic tundra to desert sand dunes. The engineering challenges of a one-off build like this are immense. Without the economies of scale that come with mass production, every component has to be carefully designed and tested. The suspension system alone required months of development to ensure it could handle the weight of the vehicle while providing the articulation needed for extreme off-road conditions. But that's what makes these builds so special. When you're only building one, you can afford to spend the time and money to get every detail perfect. The result is a vehicle that's not just functional, but a true work of art. The economics of 6-wheeled madness. Let's talk money for a minute, because these machines don't come cheap. The Covini C6W starts at $640,000. The Mercedes G63 6x6 was over $500,000 when it was available. The Apocalypse Hellfire can easily top $200,000 depending on options. But here's the thing. These aren't just expensive toys. They're investments in engineering excellence and automotive artistry. When you buy one of these machines, you're not just getting transportation, you're getting a piece of automotive history. The resale values tell the story. The Mercedes G63 6x6 has actually appreciated since it went out of production. Good examples are now selling for more than their original MSRP. The Covini C6W, with only a handful ever built, is essentially priceless. But it's not just about the money. These vehicles represent thousands of hours of engineering, design, and craftsmanship. When you consider the development costs, the custom tooling, and the hand assembly required, the prices actually start to make sense. The Apocalypse team, for example, employs 45 skilled technicians and engineers. Each vehicle takes weeks to complete, with every component carefully inspected and tested. When you're building machines that need to survive the apocalypse, quality control isn't optional. The future of 6-wheeled vehicles. So where does this all lead? What's the future of six-wheeled vehicles? The technology is getting better and more accessible. What used to require millions of dollars in development can now be done with advanced computer modeling and 3D printing. Custom components that would have taken months to manufacture can now be produced in days. Electric powertrains are opening up new possibilities. When you don't have to worry about complex mechanical drivetrains, adding extra wheels becomes much simpler. Tesla's Cybertruck has already shown interest in six-wheeled variants, and other manufacturers are sure to follow. The military applications continue to drive innovation. As conflicts become more complex and terrain more challenging, the advantages of six-wheeled vehicles become more apparent. The extra traction, load capacity, and redundancy that six wheels provide are invaluable in military applications. But perhaps most importantly, the enthusiast market continues to grow. As more people discover the capabilities and excitement of six-wheeled vehicles, demand increases. And where there's demand, there will always be engineers and builders ready to push the boundaries even further. The payoff: why six wheels matter. Here's what most people don't understand about six-wheeled vehicles. They're not just showing off. Every single one of these machines exists because four wheels simply aren't enough for what they're designed to do. When you're making 900 horsepower like the C10 Slayer, you need six wheels to put that power to the ground. When you're crossing the Sahara like the Mercedes Zetros, you need the extra traction and load capacity. When you're building the ultimate apocalypse machine like the Apocalypse Hellfire, you need the redundancy and capability that only six wheels can provide. These machines represent the absolute pinnacle of automotive engineering. They're what happens when brilliant engineers are given unlimited budgets and told to build something impossible. The result is a collection of vehicles that redefine what we think is possible on four wheels, or in this case, six. From the tire shredding insanity of Brad DeBerti's C10 Slayer to the Italian elegance of the Covini C6W, these six-wheeled monsters prove that sometimes more is really better. But here's the thing. We've only scratched the surface of the custom vehicle world. The six-wheeled segment is just one part of a much larger universe of incredible machines. From million-dollar custom semi-trucks to amphibious vehicles that can drive underwater, the world of custom vehicles is filled with machines that challenge everything we think we know about transportation. If you want to see more insane builds, more incredible engineering, and more machines that shouldn't exist but absolutely do, you need to check out our deep dive into the world's most expensive custom trucks. Trust me, after seeing what a $2 million custom Peterbilt looks like, you'll never look at regular trucks the same way again. And we're talking about machines with custom living quarters that rival luxury RVs, engines that make more power than most race cars, and paint jobs that cost more than most people's annual salary. These are the ultimate expressions of American trucking culture, and they'll blow your mind. Hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started on this journey through the world's most incredible custom vehicles. And let me know in the comments, which of these six-wheeled beasts would you choose for your dream garage? Are you Team American Muscle with the C10 Slayer, or would you go for the Italian sophistication of the Covini C6W? Maybe you're practical and want the apocalypse-ready Hellfire, or perhaps you're drawn to the military precision of the Mercedes G63 6x6. Whatever your choice, one thing is certain. The world of six-wheeled vehicles is just getting started, and the best is yet to come.